topic is IEEE student benefit and research innovation. So some of the IEEE activities you all know, but still some of the questions are always in the mind of students, and some of the questions are always in the mind of your faculty members. First activity is that if my organization, which is not a college but it's a big organization, contains the IEEE membership, IEEE things in my library, then why a student should need a single membership for the IEEE? Because when I am student, my primary objective is to download the papers, journal papers. But if the already available journal papers are there in the library, then why should I keep my membership active? That is the first question. Second is that IEEE, or why IEEE, or how IEEE can help me in the societal development. IEEE is controlled by an USA based company. So why a USA based company can be useful in an Indian context, and why I should make my research in terms of IEEE, why it is the standard in world. That is the most important thing. So this is the second question, basically related to the student and teacher also. So with that, my first objective is that what is an IEEE? Yes, there are so many professional associations, but IEEE is one of the biggest, or I can say largest professional association, which is usually dedicated to advancing technology. That is the most important word, I can say, advancing technological innovation. So you can ask a question. So it means all the journals, all the techniques, all the I can say new techniques, new innovations published in the IEEE is only the technological innovation. So those are published in the Elsevier, Springer, they are not any technological innovations. No, that is a wrong interpretation. Actually, it's like a Mazda, Coca-Cola, then Pepsi like of thing. Everyone is doing business. So IEEE is also doing the business. So when IEEE is saying that it is my largest professional association in technological innovation, Springer is also saying that I am also doing the same thing. But yes, it's like the thing that Coca-Cola is slightly higher than Mazda, the seller point of view. Maybe Pepsi and Coca-Cola is a competitor. So it may happen that IEEE and Nature, they are basically a competitor, but slightly lower Springer, maybe in terms of citation, maybe in terms of market value, like that. But all of those journal, all of those societies are doing something for technological innovation. So what is a technological innovation? It means, suppose you are wearing a cloth and that cloth quality is no longer valid, the cloth quality of 60s. So how a technological innovation can help to generate more sophisticated cloth so that my day-to-day life can be easier. That is the most important thing of doing some innovation. So every innovation means something to the society, and that's why society, humanity, and that technological innovation terms coming all together in the IEEE definitions. And again, it's a global community. This is another important thing. Why global community? Global community means that as IEEE is connected throughout the different sections, different countries, so that's why this global community will always gives you a support from everybody. Someone gives an idea from Australia, that idea will be validated by a professor from USA, and work will be enhanced on that idea of Australian professor. So that means my global community comes under a single domain. So with that, these things are basically, if you go in IEEE website, IEEE.org, you will see the mission and the vision. Again, the most important keywords are foster technological innovation. And again, the most important terms in the visions are technological, professional, universally recognized, improving global communities. So these are important keywords. Whatever the keywords, that keywords ultimately gives you something to the society, something to your betterment of your daily life. So it does not mean that IEEE is only the way of publishing something. No, it is the most important thing, that publishing something and that published product will be useful to your day-to-day life. A person who actually published something on LED ultimately gives you the fundamental rights that nowadays LEDs are very much available in our day-to-day life. So with that, what is basically this IEEE? It is basically some kinds of societies, some technical councils. These are basically some database. That database you may or may not require to know, but it is, yes, some journals, conferences, some kinds of standards. Yes, that is an important thing I should want to share with you. IEEE not only gives you the publications of journal and conference, but it is also useful for standardization. Means, when you are buying a pressure cooker, there is a standardized mark called ISI, and that basically the standardization marks from Indian perspective. Similarly, when you are purchasing some kind of journal, some kind of product that is technologically generated, IEEE standardize that product. If you are doing some kind of research in VLSI domain, then you may know that in VLSI domain some softwares are there who are useful for some kind of VLSI design or chip design. It is interesting to know that those chip design softwares are standardized by IEEE. So IEEE is some kinds of industry standardization, I can say. So this is basically the scenario. You can see region 1 to 6 and is basically from America. Region 7 is Canada and Ireland region, Iceland region. The whole Europe, Russia comes under 8 and Africa. Region 9 is basically South America, and our region 10 is Asia Pacific, where it starts from the Middle East and ends to the New Zealand. So the big area in terms of membership is basically comes in the region 8 and region 10. This is basically the regions. You can see the regions are containing areas, councils, some chapters, some subsections, some student branches, student branch chapters. I will come later. What is a student branch and what is a student branch chapters? So these are some data. So with that data, I actually want to share something which is basically what is IEEE Kolkata section. You know that you are under IEEE Kolkata section. So IEEE Kolkata section initially is not a section, it is a subsection, and it is under the Delhi sections. Initially it is called Eastern Regional Subsections, then it converts to as Calcutta subsections, then it converts to Calcutta sections, and then it converts to Kolkata sections. So this is basically the history of IEEE Kolkata section. This is an important slide should remember for your future activities. Whenever you are publishing some kind of papers, you are submitting some kind of paper in IEEE, or you want to do some kind of conference, maybe on antenna, maybe on control, maybe on AI or computer, then the right box, IEEE Technical Activity Boards, they comes in the feature. They have a society president. Under their presidency, some officers are there. So they are approving your conferences, and whatever the journal conferences are published, they are controlling the technical activities. And in the left side, IEEE Member Geographic Activities Board. That is another board that contains the all over regional directors, means region 10 director, region 8 director. So they are basically the primary goals of the IEEE member. So if you want to renew your membership, that means you have to do some kind of membership retention. Maybe you want to do some kind of outreach activity, workshop, then you want to take part some kind of IEEE voluntary activity. So those things are controlled by the IEEE member and geographic activity board. So your annual membership renewal will be taken by the left board, and the right board is basically the taking the technical activity. But you can see there is a committee, they actually all jointly working hand to hand, because if somebody wants to take part some kind of conference on antenna and propagation, then he may wants to uh, take approval from the technical activities, but the funding will come from the IEEE Geographic Activities Board, because they will give the permission to the technical activities board. Okay, the funding is approved, and that funding will be ultimately comes to you through the technical activities board. Now this is for use for yours, for the faculty and for the students. See, the most problematic area I have seen is making student usable thing, that making student aware that your membership is going to end somewhere in the November and you have to renew your membership. So this calendar actually shows you when should you do your membership renewal. You can see December is the calendar end and January is the calendar start. So generally during the time of March, a call will open from IEEE that you can renew your member, you can do membership, it's a fresh member, you can do membership maybe for 1 year or maybe for quarter, means 6 months. So if the March is the starting period, then August is basically the half year conclusion. And if you do the membership in March, then if you do a 1 year membership, then your next March is the due time. But by chance, your membership ends in November and you forget to renew your membership, then your grace period will be up to February. Also, suppose one person forget to renew membership in 1 year, then he has to reinstate again his membership within the February, because February is the most important time for every student branch, chapter, section. Why? In February, 20th February is the date by which you have to submit all your report to the IEEE online submission procedure. With your report submission and your number of member at the time of February 20, your funding will be basically calculated, and that funding will come to the section through the student branch. So these are some kind of definitions. Applicants, who are the applicants? You are the applicants. Who are the recruiter? You are again a recruiter. A faculty member can give some kind of motivational talk to students so that they can recruit new member. Grace period are January and February. Areas up to February, who are basically forgot to renew their membership or maybe deactivated. Somebody have not renewed 1 year membership. Yes, their membership is basically overturned, but that membership again can be recovered or reinstated by some kind of break, and IEEE generally does not show that break period in the card, but it was basically terminated. Then student membership, this is the most important thing, that is the question to yours, that why a student should do a membership renewal when already the organization have the IEEE membership things. The first important is your money will be again come to the institute for development purpose. Why? See, first of all things that any undergraduate or postgraduate students can do membership. Last line, A student membership generally of $27. It may vary as per the dollar variations. Any student can do or can start initially the IEEE membership. He can renew the IEEE membership. Here one thing I need to know, I need to tell you, previously only dollar submission is the valid point, but nowadays you can do rupee payment options. IEEE group challan template is one template form is there. You can download the IEEE group challan template. You do something in the fill up the form group. Maybe you are some kind of 10 students or 12 students in a group. Then you do the submission on the form. Then IEEE will give you a challan format. You submit the challan in the and money in the bank, and automatically that money will be transferred in terms of Indian currency to the IEEE headquarters. So previously, I don't have credit card is not a burden nowadays. Now you already have the IEEE student branch, but there is a big thing called IEEE student branch chapter. What that basically difference is? Maybe IEEE student branch, you all know, all the students who are basically renewed their membership or taking the membership are belongs to the IEEE student branch. But let's say there are 12 students who are interested to do research only in control theory, or maybe the 12 students doing kinds of research on communication or antenna. Then those 12 students belongs to a single society. What are the society? Like control theory society, instrumentation is a society, communication is a society, microwave is a society, we call them MTT, AP is an antenna propagation is a society. So these kind, biomedical is a society. So all those students who are doing research in same community, they can form a student branch chapter. So what are the difference? A student branch activity is a general activity, whereas student branch chapter activity is a technical activity on that society based activity. Other than that, you have some kind of student professional activity conference. You can do some kind of conference for students. You can take part some kind of mentorship activity, and already you know that some branch counselor in terms of faculty member is there to basically mentor you about the student branch. So the main activities are that student branch can communicate through the different email IDs to the different student branch. They can promote new student branch chapters. The most important thing is IEEE knows business. So you have to improve your student membership. Why I need to improve the student membership? I will come later. Then you can do your student paper contest. I have seen Circuit and System chapter, CAS. They have taken an initiative previously in 2015 probably to do some kind of student paper contest on circuit. So you do some kind of small circuit, present your circuit, and they will basically give you some kind of monetary benefits. So these are some kind of contest. Then you can do some kind of outreach activity. Most important outreach activity, you know what is? Studying class 12 students, giving them lectures, giving them some kind of laboratory access, so that class 12 students can have an idea that how a practical laboratory demonstration can be useful for their knowledge. So this is the most important thing that I have already told, that how can I activate a chapter in my branch. I need a particular 12 student member chapter. Fill out the chapter. Chapter means IEEE AP chapter, MTT chapter means the societies. Under a particular society, society president will give you the approval. Okay, it means that you students, 12 students can do work on a particular activity, not different activity. So it is basically a subset of the student branch. So it means, suppose a student branch contains 50 students, and among them 12 students are doing research on control theory. So that 12 students is a subset producing a new chapter student branch, and they belongs to the both chapter student branch and student branch also. So what is the benefit of student branch? As you have already done, open your student branch. See, the most important thing is, apart from the monetary benefit, you can access library, you can take part conference, workshop and competitions in reduced amount of registration fees. These are actually well known to you, but there are certain other things you don't know probably. The most important are, I think, moment you have joined in an engineering degree course, you all know professional groups like LinkedIn. IEEE also have some kind of interpersonal community based protocol where you can communicate with all over the world, different professors, different researchers, and share your activities, share your thoughts with them, like LinkedIn. Second, you can submit, you can produce and then submit your resume in that portal, so that everybody can see that what are the works or how you are doing the works in your field. Then there are so many small competitions, funded and non-funded, awarded actually to the student branches. So you can take part to the competitions like best student design competitions, like humanitarian ground competitions. These competitions are actually produced by several regions. It is not region specific. A person from region 10 can take part to a competition in region 1, and ultimately he or she can get awarded from there in terms of monetary benefit. So these are some kind of benefit in the student branch. So ultimately, it means that for having a sustainable student branch, you need student members, you need fund, you need facility. So your job, moment you are become senior, you are becoming senior, your job is to motivate your juniors to member in IEEE. That will basically help to retain your membership. Second, fund can come from two ways. One, from sections rebate, that is $3 values for each member, and second, from different sponsorships. Moment you are doing a conference called IEEE Sponsors Conference or IEEE Technical Sponsor Conference, several different professional organizations can give you sponsorship. So you store those sponsorships for small events. Third, that is the important thing, is the facility creation. You will be amazed to know, if you open a IEEE student branch chapter of MTT Society, MTT Society of India will give you a small microwave setup laboratory, some small instrument, some small cables, so that you can do your own research in your institution. You can set up a small laboratory for that also. So these are some small benefits they will give you in terms of facility creation. Another interesting thing is, you asked your Professor Vikas actually asked me that please give a lecture. Similarly, somebody wants that if I have a lecture on photonics, and the most eminent professor in the photonics belongs to a person from Massachusetts University. So I will approach to the IEEE headquarter or IEEE society, that can I have that person or that professor to give a lecture for me in terms of IEEE? Yes, that is an option. Some company boss, some company executive director also are IEEE big members. So he can also share their thought in terms of company specific IEEE activities. So it means that you cannot have, or you are, if you are thinking that how can I arrange a particular person from community, then it is not your job to think that who is the person right for your lecture. Anybody can give you this kind of helping hand that yes, I am available, you give me a slot and I will give you a lecture. Only thing is that collaboration through IEEE. So that is the important thing. Then this is another interesting lecture topic called branch leadership training workshop. How to maintain a branch? How can I enhance my branch? What are the activities I can do in a branch? In terms of that, branch counselor and the branch secretary and treasurer can participate regional training programs, and those training programs date are available. So if you write them, they will give you the funding, and on that funding it first come to the section will transfer you. You can use this fund to take part in anywhere. Another interesting thing, if you having a branch chapter have yearly 3 different meetings in different locations all over the world. So member from the branch chapter, maybe secretary, treasurer, or someone nominated from the secretary, they can take part to the branch meeting. We can say chapter meeting. We say them chapter meeting. Recently, like I am giving an example, AP chapter meeting last year hold in Singapore. So one of a student who does not belong to the secretary level but nominated by the secretary from the IEEE student branch MTT from an institute take part in the event, and he actually is the most important thing is not only in the meeting but apart from the meeting he is roaming in the conference and making network with other professors in the conference. So this kind of leadership training, chapters chair meeting is the options for the students to have a good network. Most important thing for the faculty members and the student who are basically the office bearer of the student branch. Student branch reporting. You know the reporting has to be done through the online. We call them IEEE V Tools officer reporting. Every year officer reporting is due by 1st November, but we generally do reporting after the new year, means January, but not after 20th February. If you do anything reported after 20th February, your all of those things is redundant. You will not get any money for that year. But if you do well reporting and proper way of maintaining the membership data through online portal, they will give you good money. And also sometimes student branch are also awarded for having a huge growth. So that means this branch reporting is most important thing. Many a times the branch actually deactivated as they have not reported properly. So this is basically the IEEE V Tools student branch reporting. You have to log in through your login password, and then you will see that all those data, that from what is the activity name, when it is actually happened, where it is happened, who are the sponsor, who are the participant, a small report write up, and then attachment of some technical documents, images, pictures. Similarly, at that time you also reported your monetary things, means what are the bills you have. You scan those bills amounts and then upload those bills so that they can have an idea that this amount of event you have done, maybe in terms of $100, so they will reimburse your $100 by the bills. So these things are most important part. So your student branch reporting, who are the secretaries, and that part also important for the database update. You can also generate your own website for the student branch. Membership development. Membership development means it is not only for student but it is also for the faculty members. Some faculty members may want to renew your renew his membership. Some students may renew your membership. All those membership after renewal or new members when they recruited, generally there is an option called membership benefit toolkit. So when you apply for the toolkit, they will give you a box through courier that ultimately have some pens, some mementos, some certificates, some small playing cards like those. These are basically membership benefit, I can say gift or award. So suppose a person who has just initiated his membership, when you give them this membership tool, then he will be very much pleased by seeing that I have a IEEE flag, an IEEE logo can be mounted on Almira. I have a pen inscripted by IEEE, like that. So these are membership toolkit. This is basically the IEEE membership on-demand kit. You can see flyers, business cards, puzzles, flag, some small tokens, magnets. Those actually shipped from USA to anywhere, so that you can have some kind of feelings that like when you are doing some kind of kits, I can say. This is another interesting thing. Student sometimes generally use their Gmail ID for emailing for their higher research or maybe postdoc or maybe PhD to professors in outside, maybe in USA, maybe in Europe. And some of the institutes have banned their Gmail IDs as a spam because they have very much protection in their internal I can say data sets or a repository. So moment a mail came from a student in terms of Gmail, professors overlook that. But if you have an email ID like a professional email ID like xxx@IEEE.org, then it means it is a standardized email and it is a already focused email. So by that way, as every student, every IEEE member have a IEEE.org email ID. Then leadership excellence. Maybe 10 students are there, but one student is a leader. So how that student be a leader? That is an interesting thing. So you can also do some kind of research that how your leadership can be volunteered through IEEE. You know, every year IEEE sections, regions give award to the IEEE leadership excellence persons. See, this is an interesting thing. Students who are member of IEEE, they can take part to the IBM IEEE Smarter Planet Challenge. Means your Earth may have some kind of problem. Whatever the problem, those problems are societal problem. Maybe pollution, maybe traffic, maybe some kind of virus kind related problems. So how your ideas can help to give a smart planet more smarter. IBM found that thing in a humanitarian problem so that you can take part. Similarly, another is early career faculty development virtual mini conference. Successfully, a particular under 35 faculty member take part to the virtual mini conferences, or you can organize that thing also. This is another interesting thing. IEEE Collaboratech. This is actually the LinkedIn version of IEEE. You can chat with any professor, any researcher on any upcoming topic. So network, collaborate, and create. Through the networking and collaborations, some persons may interested your topic and he or she can ask you to join their group, and that will give you a huge benefit for future PhD and postdoc research. This is basically the domain looks like the IEEE collaborative. It's a home page, some navigations are there. So like LinkedIn versions. You can do some kind of job profile. You can search what are the job objectives in IEEE terms of view, in terms of IEEE. You can also have some kind of repository, books, library, papers. You can ask somebody then that this paper I need, can you share with me? You can have some kind of job profile for yours, means you can prepare your job profile and anybody can share, see your job profile. Opportunities, who are, means the opening, the vacancies through the job, you can also see. Similarly, research opening can also be useful to this. So job search, these are the things this IEEE collaborative actually doing the thing. IEEE resume lab, somebody have some problem of writing English, maybe whatever the letters I am writing to a professor for doing my PhD research is not very well written. So these letters, resume, how to do the interview, how to approach the interview, how can give my pitching videos, these things, portfolios can be maintained through IEEE Resume Lab. They will give you a helping hand that how to do them, and after that you can store those data to the IEEE Resume Lab so that everybody can see. And it's an uniform platform, means you have do this thing and it will be uniformly visible to everybody. IEEE group, it means a research on plasmon or a photonics can be doable by a person from Russia, from in India, from Australia, from USA, and you are forming a group. This is a virtual group. All are doing research physically to their institute, but you are doing a group work, and by that way, ultimately you can share your thoughts, you can share your topics, drives. So this is basically the groups like Google Drives. This is another interesting thing. Every student member should do something for their society. So special interest group on humanitarian technology, SITE. That is another interesting thing. In IEEE Kolkata section, we have a SITE group. So SITE group means what? I am giving an example. They are giving, they basically give some kind of funding for technological benefit for the society. Like your institutions, around your institution, some remote villages are there. Remote villages contain some persons who has to go long way to see the doctors. So if I have a small project, I am giving a small project to the special humanitarian group that I will generate a small app and a digital doctor. So I have some kind of sensors, some digital stethoscopes, some oximeters. So these I will set up as a whole in a box. So IEEE will give you some kind of funding to purchase them. You purchase those things, then you set up those things. You go to the village, you make a hub there, and on a particular day, maybe 100 villagers see their own health checkup, and those health checkup data will be transmitted to the center, which is basically a city medical center, where the doctors are actually physically present in a center. So whatever the virtual data you emailed them, or it's emailed or it showed through the some kind of virtual platform, doctor will analyze by sitting in a chamber, and by doing that thing they will give the suggestions that these villagers need this kind of things. So this is a way the humanitarian projects work. Like another example, you have a pond in your area which contain arsenic. So you want that those pond should be removed with the arsenic. So maybe some kind of portable solar based water purification system you set up in a village with the fund of IEEE human site group. Then ultimately that village will get the benefit of the IEEE's technological innovations. So by that way, you have to submit a project proposal. They approve the project proposal. Once then you will get the money. So it's like a competitive project. So this is the site groups geographical domains. You can see maximum of the site programs coming from the India and China regions. So it means these side projects is basically for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the persons. And nowadays, you know, every things IoT is the most important topic came up for the day-to-day's life sense monitoring system. So using IoT, you can take at least some societal benefits. So site can be a professional site group, means in engaging some kind of societal NGO, some kinds of industry, or it can be a university site groups, maybe in terms of faculty, students related with that site. Only 6 plus IEEE members, so minimum 6 members are required for the site group. And non-IEEE members can also take part, maybe some industry person who does not want to be a site member, but who does not want to be an IEEE member. He can also act as a volunteer to the IEEE member site group. Site proposal you have to write like a project proposal writing. IEEE TA, it's another interesting thing called IEEE Technical Activity Volunteer. You, maybe a student, maybe a faculty member, he can goes to the website and you can search IEEE volunteer, IEEE TA volunteer, IEEE journal volunteer. It means you are volunteering that you can do some extra work for the betterment of IEEE. You apply with some kind of nomination. If IEEE think that you are right person, they will give you an award with the particular designation that you are the TA volunteer. Another interesting thing, nowadays, you know, in India, the startup, entrepreneurships, IIC, these terms are very much interesting, very much upcoming. But you will be amazed to know these terms actually is very much coming from USA, Japan. And in India, we call these terms long back as a businessman. But there is a demarcation between a businessman and a startup businessman. But in USA, this demarcation is very well defined. So in USA, this IEEE entrepreneurship is a big activity where you can do some kind of entrepreneurship exchanging, technology marketization, technology patenting, investment, some kind of accelerations in laboratories. So these things are also the terms coming in the entrepreneurship, also supported by the IEEE. So you can see the two examples. One is called Liberty Mutual Innovation. Another is a Dell Small Business. So Dell, you know, computer business provider, they give some kind of small business ownership to you. Maybe you are doing some kind of business on RAM, or maybe you are doing some kind of business on printer. So Dell will give you a small business for doing business in a particular area, and you are the sole authorized distributor of Dell in that way. So these are some kind of challenges, IEEE extreme programming challenges. These are for IEEE student branch. IEEE student branch has to submit their ideas in different competitions, and they can be awarded. IEEE President Change the World competition, that was basically controlled by USA. So student branch, they ask student branch specifically in USA, do you have any idea annually? Every year they take part in those kind of idea. And different universities are there where in those universities entrepreneurial activities are very much prominent. So whatever the ideas IEEE gave awarded, they tag those ideas to those entrepreneurial universities so that the idea can be taken care, and then it is marketized. So with this whole background of IEEE, now I am coming to the innovation. This figure, I think some of you may or may not know. Every institution nowadays in India has this Institutional Innovations Council called IIC. It is basically a council for policy making about how you basically do the technological innovation and marketize your innovation. Let's say an example. Somebody is doing a research work in petroleum, or somebody is doing a research work in civil. Ultimately, that research should be useful for the market, for the society. If I have no usage of that research, then what for that research? So that's why now India is thinking in that way, that whatever the research you are doing, can you do that research for the benefit of the human body? So that's why the policy should be on that way. So this is the way of Institutional Innovation Council. So who are the input? Who will give the input of the Institutional Innovation Council? The most important inputs come from faculty and students, because you are the researchers. Now, every institution prior to this IIC have some photography club, your robotic club, science club. So similarly, you have seen many advertisement sometimes came to your email from IIT Bombay. IIT Bombay entrepreneurship shell actually doing some kind of tech fest. So this tech fest, these things are actually taken care in IITs by eCell. So that entrepreneurship cell, those clubs are basically the fundamental belongings or the fundamental steps who promote awareness, do some kind of idea competitions, internship on some kind of technological innovations, hackathons. So they have the only the prototype based ideas, only the ideas, maybe the idea in the fabrication stage, all those things, those cannot be marketized. So once those idea goes to the pre-incubation lab through those IIC, then only the pre-incubation stage you can set up your startup company, and then a student or a group of students can generate a startup company, and that startup company can sell their product through some kind of NGO or through some kind of sharing with some companies. You can have some kind of mutual understanding that, okay, I am designing and you do the fabrication, you sell and I will get the royalty. So this is the way some MOU will be signed. So the pre-incubation stage is the stage where MOUs will come in the future. And the idea stage, the clubs and e-sales will be motivated by the students and the faculty member to do patenting. But before going to the next slide, I should give you an hint, or I should warn you. Nowadays, you will see many competitions are going on in India in terms of different research, different innovations. Whenever you take part in any innovations or any kind of thing, please be remember that your ideas are not secured. You may take part and the ideas will be taken care, or it can be taken plagiarized to some other person, and it is very common. So it is better to do first, at least do a patent file and then submit your idea in terms of POC. Now it is for you student. Innovation from game. You all played some 3D puzzles like Meccano, like some kind of, this is a Lego. Lego you heard, I think. So we have a Lego model of this spacecraft lander. And then these Lego models are, dimensions are converted to the Autodesk inventor who are doing some kind of mechanical research. They can convert these structures to an AutoCAD drawing. From that AutoCAD drawing, the interface can directly go to the MATLAB. And in the MATLAB, if you do some kind of programming, then this lander itself can do something in the MATLAB. So you see, whatever you played ultimately converted to a particular mathematical model. So maybe you do some kind of 3D puzzling, and that 3D puzzle, you can convert it to a mathematical model, and by that mathematical model, whatever the changes, whatever the stability criteria, whatever the equations of motions, you can already develop, you can derive on that basis. Yes, it is a scaled version also. See, this is the structures we have made on Lego, and these are the thrusters. You can see these are the primary thrusters, main center thrusters, and these 1 2 3 4 5 6. So these 1 2 3 1 2 3, so 6 7 8. So these 8 are the side thrusters. So if I say I need to tilt it right, I need to on this kind of thruster so that it can give a opposite thrust. What are the innovations you can do, students? You can do nowadays nano antenna, photonics kind of research, spacecraft antenna, antenna very small, reconfigurable, deployable. Then transmission line, like our age-old telephone lines, they are so much lossy, coaxial cables lossy. So if I can reduce the loss, so low loss transmission line. Water antenna, it is not the antenna underwater, it is an water antenna, means your antenna constructed by water. See, very interesting thing. Dielectric resonator antenna, digital beamforming. By sitting in your room, you control an antenna to rotate 30-degree angle. This is called digitally controlling the antenna beam. RF VLSI, RF chip, or I can say RFID chip. Microwave imaging, body scanning, airport body scanning. Microwave radiometry from the high sky. If there is a cloud, you cannot visualize by an optical camera, but still something is going on in the ground. So your night vision camera is also not working in that time because it's an optical one. So infrared is an option, or microwave imaging called synthetic aperture radar, SAR imaging we tell them. Portable mobile station, in a disaster scenario, your mobile base stations actually broken by the storms. So if I have a drone based mobile station and the drones are moving somewhere to somewhere, so that my mobile station at least for 1 or 2 hours can be active for some localized area. Non-linear microwave, whatever the study we are doing in our communication background, they are all linear. But you know, transistor, if it is in a non-linear domain, can give you a power amplifier kind of thing. Similarly, non-linear microwave, anisotropic. Then, as I have shown you Lego problem, wireless toy, robotic toy, 3D puzzle and its robotic control, Indian Railway kind of small things. So these are some toy where you can use wireless, IoT, microcontroller, embedded system, FPGA, RF chip, PCB, 3D printing. So all those things can be included for a toy. On entrepreneurship also, your friend need a fabrication unit, and in an institution it does not contain a fabrication unit. So your friend, you can set up a fabrication unit for your friend, and maybe it can happen after 10 years you are the only fabricational unit, maybe a soldering unit, maybe a PCB fabrication unit, maybe a mechanical fabrication unit, and whatever the project coming in an institute or in a society, they will approach to you like you approach nowadays to somebody. If your glass is broken, window glass, you approach to a shop, please give me a glass. They will cut the glass in a proper shape and fit it. Then you need a fitter. So can you do the same job for your friend for a technical line? Your friend maybe need a metallic box. Who can give this metallic box as a fabrication? So you can do a very precise fabricational unit, and students from current batch, student from future batch, maybe faculty members for their own research work give you monetary project so that you can give them the product. Packaging, mill grade painting, this is another important thing. Whatever the painting you see in the aircraft or in the tank, they are not natural painting, they are mill grade painting, means military graded. It contains special kind of chemical so that it can withstand very harsh weather of -40 degrees centigrade to +80 degrees centigrade. So you can have this kind of painting store. So it means whoever the persons who are doing research on this kind of mill grade technology, we will approach to you and you can have some kind of monetary benefit. 3D printing, micro soldering, robotic research, some kind of application service for defense. Nowadays very easily defense websites are cracked, cryptography, securities are lost. So can you use some kind of special app service for the defense areas? And lastly, most important nowadays, swarm. If 10 numbers of drones moving to a particular warfield in a swarm, and every drone contains 100 numbers of small bombs. So think carefully. Only one drone need to control other drones, and all the drones will communicate like we communicate 10 soldiers with a leader.